Bakura was the menace in the shadows of dual monsters. Today I wanted to see if we can give him an alternative deck that would work for Bakura. This is also due to the fact that a lot of dual monster characters either have a deck that's barely been updated over the years to look further into, and that more than half the cast of the original dual monsters don't have a deck that defines them well beyond a surface level. Bakura's occult deck is exactly that. It shows that Bakura is an occult freak, and it wasn't fully always due to Yami Bakura as shown in Duel Links. And it shows how Bakura, fights alongside the spirits whose lives were taken for the Millennium items. But none of the monsters represent those things really well. Aside from maybe Dark Necrofear, who, while living and dead, is a constant threat to be aware of, similar to Yami Bakura. So we will be talking about possible decks that Yami Bakura could now have if he were to be made in the modern day. So without further ado, let's begin. Also, no, I will not be talking about actual Bakura because I don't really feel a need to, if you catch my drift. So I thought about these two things when I first came up with this idea for alternative decks for Bakura. Spirit monsters are monsters that, once summoned, uses a powerful effect and leaves the field at the end of the turn. At least that's what I hoped the idea behind the monster was before Konami completely abandoned it, so there's barely any cards fitting for Bakura to use. So my next thought was, what about Yosenju? A deck full of vengeful spirits monsters that also act like spirit monsters, but aren't because, like I said, Konami gave up on spirits. Some of you might be saying that Yosenjus are a Satori deck. Are we still going to use them? In any other video, probably yes. If a character has happened to have the deck of another character that I would suggest, then we will actually put that deck on that character. However, for this particular case, I don't actually think Yosenjus are fitting for Bakura, design-wise, because they aren't as violent and they aren't as mind-gaming as Bakura is. Alright, despite everything I just said about Yosenjus, I think Life Twins are very fitting for Bakura. Yami Bakura's true identity is actually a king of a kingdom of thieves. Also the only survivor of a kingdom of thieves, but the point is that Yami Bakura is a thief. Often the two sides of Bakura is shown to us with Change of Heart, but the Life Twins chained to Evil Twins work just as well. So with that all being said, let's discuss the deck list that I made for Bakura in this video. Cursed Necrofear at 1, Dark Necrofear at 1, Evil Twins Kill and Lila times 1, Luna the Dark Spirit at 1, Dark Spirit of Banishment at 2, Dark Spirit at Malice at 2, Ash Blossom at 1, Life Twin Kill at 3, and Kill Frost 3, Lila 3, Lila Treat 3, Dark Spirit Mastery at 1, Spiritualism at 1, Secret Passphrase at 3, Life Twin Entrance at 3, and Swords of Concealing Light at 1, Life Twin Troubled Sun at 3, Dark Sanctuary at 3, Floodgate Trap Hole at 1, Dark Spirit of Silence at 1, Zoma the Spirit at 1, and Skill Drain at 1. Some of these cards are bound to update over time, and when I do update them, I will make a mention of it in another video, or I will change something in the description to say what exactly I changed about the deck. But anyway, there's a reason why I put a lot of spirit cards in. I still wanted to keep the theme of spirits within Bakura's deck. Therefore, hence all the spirit cards. We have Dark Spirit of Banishment at 2 because it helps both Evil Twins and actually helps the Necrofears. Dark Spirit of Malice at 2, does the same thing for the same reason. The Necropheres are just there because Bakura used them, but also because they can actually recycle some resources that we might need. Spiritualism is back row removal, pretty much. And Skill Drain because we all know that Bakura would totally run Skill Drain. Let's not lie to ourselves. I searched for a bunch of cards to reach this conclusion, and it's thanks to Duel Link how I realized how well this works for him. In fact, this is what I'm proposing is his Duel Link deck. Bakura always duel in an unorthodox way, where even in a position of losing, he still feels like a constant threat. Evil Eye is exactly that. You are constantly losing life points as well as constantly in a bad position in terms of life point standing. Yet, it's never seemingly clear if you are actually in a bad situation, or if your opponent is in a good position. It's up to you, the player, to actually show this threat. Medusa represents him as one of the people who fights with their brethren while being used by a bigger entity. As for a deck list for Bakura, I actually don't have this one set yet, mostly because I don't even have it fully built yet myself. I was playing a lot of online matches with this, and it did do a good amount of results. But at the same time, I feel like it's still not complete and I can still improve it. So when I feel the absolute pinnacle of where I feel it can stand, then I will actually announce when the deck list will be. But for now, it's still in its prototype phase, and once I complete it, I will put it in the description. So overall, we pretty much come to this conclusion. Bakura in the Master Duel format will be using Live Twins as a engine. Well, mostly as the main deck, but also as an engine. While meanwhile in Duel Links, he will be using Evil Eyes, with very few other Fiend type monsters in the deck. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and take care.